All right. From our communications director, prepare to rock. I call the December 21st, 2016 meeting of the City Council is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being video recorded as well as presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 and are closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers. Please note customers of CenturyLink can view this program in high definition on channel 1002. The council meeting as well as all other KCLV programming can be viewed on the internet at www.kclv.tv/live. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 and the web. On the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m. and also on Friday at 4 p.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 5 p.m. This building is protected by a state-of-the-art fire detection suppression sprinkler system. If alarms should activate during today's meeting, please evacuate using the exits at the back of chambers out to the mezzanine. Proceed out the double doors to the terrace and down the back staircase. For anyone that has difficulty with stairs, please check with the marshal or fire official for assistance. Once outside, assemble on the northeast corner across the street from City Hall at Lewis and First Street. Employees wearing safety vests or our city marshals will inform you when it is safe to re-enter the building. For public comment related to items on the agenda, citizen participation, and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card which you can complete and submit to the city clerk. Cards are available online in the city clerk's office or at the rear of chambers today. If you do not submit a card, it does not prevent you from speaking under public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearings. If there is anyone present today that has need for hearing impaired equipment, please see the city clerk staff. If you are parked in the parking garage across the street, please be sure to have your ticket validated by security officers when exiting. Before we proceed with the agenda, would everyone please rise for the invocation given by Reverend David Dendy of Mountain View Presbyterian Church, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Reverend.
Mayor Pro Tem Ross, City Council members, members of the public, thank you. Let us pray. Gracious God, for the year behind us, we offer our heartfelt gratitude, and for the new year 2017 ahead of us, we pray your healing hand to continue to be upon our nation as we seek a united front as your people to tackle the issues which threaten our livelihood, our economy, our nation, our families, our society, and the great city of Las Vegas. As the City of Lights, may your light continue to guide our hardworking city council, direct them, inspire them, comfort, and lead them as they deliberate and make tough decisions which will make our city better, safer, cleaner, more affordable, and welcoming to all the people who make Las Vegas their destination vacation, and for all the people who live out their vocation and make Las Vegas their home. And gracious and most loving God, during this most special time of the year, where giving and receiving is of highest importance and is utmost on our hearts and minds, may all of us in your spirit offer everyone we encounter the gift of love, joy, peace, and hope. And offering those wonderful gifts to others, may our hearts also be open to receive those same gifts from everyone who places those gracious gifts into our hands and hearts. It is in your most precious name we pray for all these things and more. Amen. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You cough and me have the ugliest Christmas tie I've ever seen.
Hi, Dave.
Morning to you. Thank you, Reverend, for that. That was wonderful.
Good morning. I told him, I thought it was, well,
What? Councilman Barlow.
You know, I guess that the mayor, you're doing what the mayor does. She always picks on my.
Well, good morning. Thank you, Reverend. That was a wonderful invocation. I appreciate that. We're very grateful. This is the ceremonial portion of our agenda, and our first item, I would like to ask the amazing Municipal Court Chief Judge Cedric Kearns to join us at the podium. Your Honor, please join us. Give him a round of applause. The man is amazing. Let me get you all pumped up before you get here, right? Our employees strive to be superheroes in the workplace, meeting our values of action, which stands for achievement, creativity, teamwork, integrity, and ownership now. They build our community to make life better, and I'm proud to announce that the Employee of the Month is Audra Hastings. Audra, where are you, girl? Come on down here. Give her a round of applause. Good morning, Audra. Congratulations. You got to hit the whole crew. Yeah, go hit the whole crew. Audra is a new member of the city team, starting work with us in April as a court specialist. Her primary role and responsibilities include monitoring the city's house arrest program. When she joined the city, the program was being reorganized, but she was able to jump right in and help. She took the initiative to create a step-by-step process on the unit's policies and procedures. She oversees more than 275 defendants on electronic monitoring devices. We need a few back here, too. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Audra's true strength is her ability to guide defendants through the house arrest process, ensuring that they are doing what they need to complete their sentence. She truly cares about these citizens. She listens to them and makes sure they know what they have to do so that they do not find themselves back in the justice system. One example of her caring comes from a defendant who recently called Audra's supervisor. The defendant explained that Audra had made a difference in his life. Not only did she help him to meet his house arrest requirements, she also mapped out areas he could walk to apply for a job. He was able to find a job at one of those businesses Audra had mapped out for him. Another defendant said that Audra has been kind and patient with me. I owe my accomplishments to her. Audra, thank you for all the hard work that you do and being a great example of the work we do at the City of Las Vegas. We have an award to present to you, and if you look to your left, you will see a sign with your name on it that will be on Main Street for the entire month. Now, I want to give you a chance to say a few words, but first, we want to hear from our Chief Judge, Cedric Kearns. Judge?
Mayor Pro Tem, thank you. City Council, thank you. As the Chief Judge in Las Vegas Municipal Court, I want you to know, Audra, how proud we are of the court. As you all know, the court is extremely progressive, and we make changes as we go along. And one of the changes we had to do is we had to make some adjustments at house arrest. Now, house arrest is not perfect, but it operates very well. Audra's been able to go in, help with some policy and procedures. Nobody's ever happy to be on house arrest, and to have a person who's able to respond in a way that's kind and understanding sure helps when they have to do that. We are a court which works on rehabilitation first, and public is very important to us. And to have an employee like Audra, as well as all of the employees of the court, it makes us very proud and pleased. And I want to thank you for recognizing a member of the court.
Awesome. Yeah, no, Councilman Coughlin wants a funny story, obviously. So you're gonna have to. You want to hold that for you while you say a few words? You betcha.
I would appreciate it.
Audrey, you know, we have like about 2,000 employees at the City of Las Vegas, so to be honored like this is pretty cool. So congratulations. So say a few words first.
Thank you. Thank you for this great honor, Chief Judge Kearns, and all of your amazing staff at this City of Las Vegas Municipal Court. I've been so lucky to work with so many people that have taught me so many things over the years. I started at, we like to call the trenches, our front counter, and have worked there for 10 years and was so grateful to learn so many things about the court as a whole. I definitely was ready for a change after 10 years and decided that I would apply for the house arrest unit, not quite knowing what to expect because they were reintroducing it and, as Judge Kearns said, making a lot of changes. I accepted the position. I was so lucky to have been selected by my supervisor, Kwan Conley, and Chief Jack Manning. And I really, every day that I go in, I'm just so grateful that I can actually make a difference in the lives of so many people. It was a little harder to do at the counter when I was just telling them what their fines were and what they had to owe. But at least this way I can explain to them that and help them navigate the system of what they need to do, what they're required to do by the judges, and what they have sentencing requirements and compliance officers, and just help them navigate through the entire thing. And it gives me great pride to be able to do that and treat them each with respect, as my mom always taught me to treat everybody with respect that I met, no matter what they did. But the thing my defendants that are on house arrest know is, just like the movie Roadhouse, when it's time to be nice all the time, be nice until it's time to not be nice. So I can do that too if I need to. But I'm definitely lucky to have the support of Kwan, and every day she teaches me something new, to be able to look for the long term and see how my decisions every day can affect us in the long term, and how I should approach different situations. I've definitely learned so much from her, and definitely with our pretrial unit that works so hard, and they help me through the process, and all the compliance officers and the marshals that Chief Manning takes care of, and of course Dana that works with Kwan and Chief Manning to talk to Judge Kearns and all the other wonderful colleagues that he has as judges, to get some of my not so regular ideas pushed through so that we can make it a better place. And just in general, I just love helping the people, and I thank you all. Thank you for this kind award. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Audra, that was great. Thank you so much. And I don't have to tell you this, and I meant to excuse the mayor earlier because she's on holiday with her family, but Your Honor, I know if the mayor were here, she would like to mention the terrific impact that our municipal court judges have on this community. You mentioned Progressive. You guys are just phenomenal, your entire team, all the staff over there. And Audra, if you needed any muscle, I'm sure there's some marshals that would back you up in a heartbeat, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go get a picture then. Do you have any family with you here today?
Unfortunately, not today.
Okay, let's go get a picture.
Thank you.
Judge, come on over. Anybody else want a picture? You want to get your team up here? Kwan, come on up, Kwan. Jack, Dana, come on, Dana, you can do it. Right next to the sign. We'll put the judge over here. Judge, come up front. No, Judge, you got to come up front.
Thank you.
You got to come up front. You're the chief judge. Now I'll get in the back. Good job, girl. Can I give the judge rabbit ears? All right, congratulations. You bet. Your Honor, thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Another round of applause for Audra. And our great municipal court. They do a great job. Dana, thank you so much. Now, Audra, that sign will be out there on Main Street for the month, so drive by often.
The stories they run on people switching into...
You didn't get any stories, did you, Councilman? Do you want to make some stories up? The judge tells great stories. Okay. For our next item, I will turn the time over to Councilman Barlow. Councilman?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have the distinct honor of recognizing a group of men who are superheroes out on the baseball diamond. Today, I would like to invite team manager Joe Sadovich to come and stand with me, and let's give him a round of applause as he comes. And as a matter of fact, why don't all of the Las Vegas 55 come on up? Is it Las Vegas or LV? Las Vegas 55, come on up. Good job. Ladies and gentlemen, the Las Vegas 55 was established over 15 years ago with players over the age of 55. The team participates in the Southern Nevada Adult Baseball League, practicing at Rainbow Family Park, Children's Memorial Park, and Mountain Ridge. In October, they represented Las Vegas and participated in the Men's Senior Baseball League World Series in Mesa, Arizona, winning the 55 and over Cactus Division. They rallied to 5 runs in the top of the 9th to beat Team Albany 6-3 to clinch the title. The team members, Marco Gutierrez was named MVP. Where's Marco? Marco, congratulations to you. MVP. The team is comprised of a group of older gentlemen who has an opportunity not only to have fun, but exercise and compete in a sport they grew up loving. Our own Benny Lloyd. Where's Benny? City of Las Vegas. Benny? Benny? All right, Benny. How long have you worked in this city, Benny? 27 years. Benny has worked in the city of Las Vegas for 27 years, and he's one of the team members as well. Just want to embarrass him just a little bit. And we are proud that he brought this accomplishment. He and all of his team members brought this accomplishment to the attention of the mayor and city council. And now we're here to recognize them as the champions representing Las Vegas here in the city of Las Vegas. So in great recognition of the Las Vegas 55s for winning the Men's Senior Baseball League World Series Cactus Division, we, the mayor and members of the Las Vegas City Council, do hereby proudly proclaim December 21st, 2016, Las Vegas 55's Day in the city of Las Vegas. So congratulations to you, gentlemen. Congratulations. And in addition to that, no, you don't get the rest of the day off. You got to go back to work, Benny. And we also have some signed baseballs for you all as well from the mayor and council. And at this time, I would like to ask that Mr. Sadovich, if you please come and share a few words.
I just want to thank Mayor Pro Tem and the council members for having us. Councilman Barlow is showing us a great deal of enthusiasm for us old guys getting out there and playing baseball again. And we're just really, really happy to be here. And thank you very, very much.
Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations. So I'll hand this off to you, Mr. Sadovich, and so you'll be able to distribute that to your team members. And thank you all so very much, and congratulations to you. Oh, thank you. Here we go. We have some more gifts for you. There we go. Well, we'll hand it to him.
Okay.
There we go. All right. And you want to take a group shot?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll take a group shot.
Get in.
I know some fireworks, right?
I want one of those jerseys. When are the tryouts?
You're not old enough yet.
All right. Another round of applause. Great job, guys.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Hey, you guys want to come out and play with us? Well, you can come out and play.
Then I said jerseys. I think every city council member should have one of those jerseys.
We'll do it next year.
Okay. All right.
Lady.
Thanks, Benny. I didn't know you had it in you, man.
I don't anymore. Here we play in the 35 and over, so.
That is competitive. Wow, that's awesome. See these guys still active. Now I'm going to need your help to make some noise because I'm going to introduce to you the 5-time state champions in high school women's soccer, the Arborview Aggies. Make some noise, girls. Stand up. Stand up. 5-time state champions. Come on down, ladies and coaches. 5 times. No, we're not graduating any of these kids. They're all going to play for Arborview forever. With them is Coach Jay Howard, Melody Johnson, assistant coach, Erica Peoples, assistant coach, and Karen Lanham, assistant coach as well. Come on down, ladies. Half of you on one side, half of you on the other side. Coach Howard, you get up here close to me because you're going to brag about these amazing young ladies. And you know what? I almost made the mistake and said girls soccer. This is women's soccer. High school women's soccer. Let me read some stats here. This is Arborview's 5th straight state title. They've won 6 out of the last 8 seasons. Season record of 20 wins, 1 loss, 2 ties. Scored 120 goals and allowed 15. There were 13 shutouts. Haley Neiman, is Haley with us? Where's Haley? She's not. She's at soccer camp. Of course she is. Haley Neiman and the defense broke the record for career shutouts for a goalkeeper in Nevada 3 games into the season. This is an amazing, amazing accomplishment. Give these girls a great big round of applause. They are dynamite. Arborview rocks. Coach, it's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you for this honor. Such an honor to be here. I'm going to tell a couple quick stories. First, we have Erica right here, who's one of our coaches. She actually started the first year. She played for me. Played all 4 years, was a starter, went off to college, and when we won our first state championship, when she came back to visit, she goes, "I'm so jealous I didn't get to go to city council." And then she's been with us. She's been coaching with us the last 4 years. She's an elementary school teacher, and it's always during school time when we've come. So this is her first time getting to go to city council. I know she's very excited today. The other story, where is Miss Boyd? Come here. Yeah. So Maddie has played with us for 4 years and been a starter for 4 years. And the day before the day before the state tournament, the last practice of the season, we always sort of make it a big deal that you made it to the last practice of the season. So we were kind of being a little sentimental, and we send everybody off to go take down all the equipment for the last time. And she's sitting there, and we're kind of like, what do you think about the game, and what do you think about what's going to happen? And it was pretty lighthearted. And then the last thing she said is, she goes, "My senior year, I'm going to city council." So really great honor, and she made true of it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Coach, thank you very much. And in appreciation from the city of Las Vegas, I know the mayor and the entire city council want to congratulate you young ladies. How many seniors do we have? Seniors? Just Maddie? No, we got more? 4. Okay, because my council members are wondering how many of you are staying for a sixth state championship. Who's in for a 6th state championship? Is that the sign? Knock on heads. Well, we are going to give this to you to put in the school over at the high school and let everybody see the major accomplishment that these young ladies have done. We thank you very much, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can do next year. Maddie, where are you going next year?
UNLV.
UNLV. Now, I come over here, young lady. Yes. Now, this is talking about talent that stayed at home, right? Tell us about your experience from playing to now teaching and coaching.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to do it. City council.
Okay. Actually, it's a big honor being able to start at Arborview, play all 4 years for Coach Howard, and then go play college, experience that, and then come back and teach these girls. It's really a special group of girls, and it's cool to see both sides, being a player and being coached. It's pretty awesome.
Success story, girls. Success story. Thank you so much. Councilwoman, this is what it's all about.
This is what it's all about.
This is what it's all about. So everybody, again, please, Councilwoman.
I just want to tell you, I'm so old that I was there and I had to fight so you girls would be able to have a level playing field in soccer and all the games. So this makes me feel good.
All right, another round of applause for this amazing team. Ladies, thank you very much for coming down to City Council today. And that ends our ceremonial. Oh, we need a photo? Group photo, okay. Hey, Coach, you want to hold that for the photo? Okay. And we'll follow your lead, whatever you want. Councilman, you want to get up here? Councilman? Squeeze in a little tighter.
Can you get the girls? Oh.
Yeah, get the girls. All right. All right, thank you. Ladies, have a great day. Enjoy your holiday. Thanks, Coach. Councilman? Thank you. We're good?
You know.
Ricky. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm working alone. Well, I'm not starting without Councilwoman Tarkanian, that's for dang sure.
I'm going to put this on my tree.
It's going to be an exercise in babysitting today. Mr. Riggleman, you ready?
So thank you, guys.
All right, we do have a quorum. We will get this meeting continued. We are on agenda item 8. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. The amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. All comments made will be cross-referenced to those specific items. If anyone submitted a speaker card or who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please come to the podium and state your name for the record. This is your opportunity to address the council, but the council is not able to respond or engage in any dialogue. We will set the time at 1 minute. Is there anyone wishing to speak to the City Council? Seeing none, we will move on to agenda item number 9. These are business items. Any items that the council staff or applicant wish to be stricken, tabled, withdrawn, or held in abeyance to a future meeting may be brought forward and acted upon at this time. Councilwoman Tarkanian, have you got some stuff for us?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
Sorry. I have this, and then I have this. Oh, okay. On the consent item number 21, contract number 1602370F, professional service contract for Ogden Avenue enhancement panels located on Ogden Avenue between Main Street and Grand Central, Department of Public Works. The action requested is abeyance to 1/18/2017, requested by staff. And then we had a discussion item number 39, a resolution establishing rates pertaining to sewer service for properties located outside the city sewer service, and this has been asked to be stricken by staff. In addition, we have another discussion item, number 46, bill number 201657, staff requests to be stricken. We have another discussion item, number 47, bill number 201658, requested by staff to be stricken.
Is that your motion?
I certainly move to agree with staff.
Thank you, Councilwoman. There's a motion. Please vote. And please post. Councilman Beers? He's there. Yes? Yes, he's here.
I didn't get it.
And that motion passes. Oh, wait.
Councilman Barlow? Did you want to be recognized as voting in the affirmative? Thank you.
That is affirmative by Councilman Barlow on agenda item 9. Again, we excuse the mayor. She is on holiday with her family and enjoying this time to herself and her family. We move on to agenda item 10. Items 10 through 36, with the exception of item 21 on the consent agenda, are considered to be routine, are recommended for approval by the departments, and may be enacted in one motion. I understand staff would like us to pull item 10 off the consent to hear with item number 48. We will do that after we vote on consent. Are there any other items the council wishes to bring forward? Council members? Seeing none, Councilwoman?
Move to approve.
There is a motion to approve the consent agenda minus agenda items 10 and 40 and just 10 and 21. Vote and please post. Councilman Barlow? And that motion passes. All right, we will now hear agenda items 10 and 48 together. I will read them in. Item 10 is administrative for possible action to approve an interlocal agreement between the City of Las Vegas and Clark County to establish collaborative and compatible land use planning in areas of joint jurisdiction. This affects wards 4 and 6. Councilman Anthony, Councilman Ross. And item number 48, a bill eligible for adoption at this meeting, is bill number 2016-64. Before we begin the discussion, I will have the city attorney read bill number 2016-64. Mr. Jerbick.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Bill number 21, Bill number 2016-64, an ordinance relating to the sewer service area of the city's municipal sewage disposal system, authorizing new connections to the system from properties located outside the service area under certain circumstances and providing for related matters.
Thank you, Mr. Jervik. I will turn the time over to Mr. Cervantes.
Good morning, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Jorge Cervantes, Executive Director for Community Development. Item number 10.
Oh, we lost your mic. There you go.
Thank you. Item number 10 is an interlocal agreement between the city and the county that identifies joint land use planning up in the Northwest, addresses annexation and sewer. There's a couple of changes that have occurred in the contract between the time of the public posting and today, so I'd like to read those changes into the record.
Please do.
The first item relates to the planning area. Under planning area A1, the city may annex properties within that area if it's requested upon by the current property owner and with concurrence from both the city and the county. Within planning area A2 and B, the city may annex any undeveloped property. For developed properties, the city may annex those with concurrence of the county. Those are the changes to that one item. The second change relates to the paragraph that relates to sewer usage. It eliminates the paragraph that talks about sewer usage and connection fees within the city service area and extraterritorial service areas being different. Within this agreement and some previous action that was taken recently, there's been changes in the way that service provided to outside service area where the cost has been reduced for the city to be able to provide those services outside of its service area. And the third item is the initial term of the agreement has been extended from 7 years to 10 years. I'm going to submit to the city clerk 3 copies of the revised agreement with the attachments that shows those changes for the record. And those are the changes to the agreement. So.
Thank you, Mr. Cervantes, and to you, your team, Ms. Fretwell. I know Councilman Anthony and I, and all of us have been working very hard on this to get us to this point. It's good to know that we've done it. It's good to know that the county's in concurrence with us and we can move forward with more important things for our entire community. With that, I'm going to turn the time over to Councilman Anthony.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve agenda item 10.
There's a motion to approve agenda item 10. With those changes or additions, please vote and please post. And that motion passes. Mr. Jervik, are we going to go ahead and vote on 48?
Yes. Before we do, if I may, Mayor Pro Tem?
Please.
At item 48, there's an amendment to the effective date of the ordinance itself.
Okay.
And so the city attorney's office will read in that amendment.
Please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. The default of any ordinance is that it's effective the date after publication. There's a desire to have this have a delayed effective date that's contingent on some events occurring, so there would be a new section 2 added to the ordinance, which would have present sections 2 and 3 renumbered to 3 and 4. The new section 2 would read as follows. This ordinance shall become effective on the date on which all the following events have occurred. A, the publication of this ordinance in accordance with the city charter. B, the repeal by the Board of County Commissioners of Clark County of ordinance number 4411 as demonstrated by evidence of the adoption, execution, attestation, and publication of the repealing ordinance, all in accordance with NRS 244.095 and 244.100. And C, the withdrawal by Clark County of its bill draft request identified as BDR 21-435 of the 79th 2017 session and pre-filed as Assembly Bill 48 as demonstrated by evidence of the withdrawal in accordance with applicable statutes, rules, and procedures of the Legislative Council Bureau and the Nevada Legislature regarding the withdrawal of bill draft requests and associated legislation. With that addition, we would recommend that the bill be adopted as a First Amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Steele. I will hand this again over to Councilman Anthony with those changes and additions.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I will make a motion to approve item number 48 with the First Amendment.
There's a motion to approve with the First Amendment. Please vote and please post. That item passes. Thank you, Mr. Cervantes. We are moving on to agenda item 37. This is pardon me, Councilwoman. I'm sorry, you had some comments to make. Please forgive me.
Couple of comments. And those deal with the other islands in the city that are, the county island is surrounded by the city. One of them is in my ward. I've spoken about it recently here in open meetings. And I've also spoken with Larry Brown and with Chris G. It is in Chris G's ward. And they both have said to me those are the types of annexations they feel should occur. So I am requesting, and I will be pushing, that we move forward with this on those islands that are not in the northwest and those islands that are completely surrounded by the city. And it would be a more efficient way. It would help all residents better if we did it. I just want that on the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. That's important to note, as there are 7 of those islands in wards, actually all wards 1, 3, and 5.
Right.
And Councilman Coffin, you have some comments?
I do too. Thank you, Your Honor. I don't have an island. I have a peninsula of county into the Ward 3. It comes at Charleston and Fremont, in that area, the 25th, 26th, 28th Street area, which has long been a troubled area. And I see that the county has kind of left that neglected, and I've often wondered why we can't annex it. But it requires requires a long-form annexation, long time, subject to objection from the Clark County Commission. And yet I kind of wonder, well, if they don't want us to have it, they could at least take better care of it, would be my opinion, and my humble opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman, and it's nice to know we're moving forward with the county in a more collaborative way, dealing with these islands and peninsulas. And Councilman?
I think you're right, and it's good to work well together.
Absolutely.
So.
All right, thank you very much. Any more comment on these agenda items? Okay, moving on to agenda item 37. This is administrative. This is a report by Economic and Urban Development staff regarding EUD's current and planned projects, and this affects all wards, even Ward 6. Mr. Arndt, time's yours.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, members of City Council. For the record, Bill Arndt, Director, Economic and Urban Development. This item is my quarterly report of what projects we're currently working on, which includes the projects that we've completed through the second quarter of our current fiscal year, which coincides with the end of the calendar year, and then also what projects are planned, what's coming out of the ground now, things that are moving forward. And so I'm going to cover this 3 ways. I'm going to show you some of the major projects, not all of them, but some of the major projects that we've completed, some projects that are underway and in construction now, and then finally we're going to conclude with a look forward on a special area plan that is in the process and under development, and we have some distinguished guests to discuss that plan, which is a plan for the West Las Vegas community, which is an important part of the greater downtown area. So as far as completed projects, I'm going to go through these pretty quickly and be glad to answer any questions along the way. The first one is Eclipse Theaters. It's open now. Councilman Coffin was a distinguished guest and speaker at the grand opening. It was a cold day, but there were a lot of excited people that were at the opening. This is a 3-story building which has in it movie theaters for adults, as well as a golf simulator on the first floor, and then the third floor is corporate suites. We did not put any funding into this project, but we helped introduce the project sponsor, Nick Steele, to lenders that ultimately funded the project, and the project did benefit from Nevada New Market tax credits. And so that's part of our effort with our New Market tax credit program is we're not going to fund all the projects in downtown, but this is helping bring new capital into downtown, and is really an important part of what we're working on moving forward. Next up is the Federal Justice Tower. It finally completed, and it's a great addition to downtown there at the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Clark. It's a high-rise office tower for various federal agencies, including Homeland Security and the U.S. Attorney's Office. And we think this is important because it really establishes the heart of our office district, which is providing services and amenities for the justice system throughout the valley. So increasingly we're seeing anyone that touches the legal industry or the criminal justice industry want to be in downtown. So law firms, supporting firms such as escrow agencies, certainly the courts themselves. It's been really a concentrated strategy to try to have and keep as much of the criminal and the civil justice system in downtown to try to attract those industries and fill up office buildings in downtown. The next project is Red Flint. This is at the University of Phoenix. It's at the ground floor of the Bank of America building. And I think this is one of the exciting things that's happening in downtown. We now have 3 technology schools, which are specialized schools providing training for young adults to go into IT careers. This is one of three. Red Flint, University of Phoenix. An interesting part of this model is that students or prospective students can actually drop in and get some free training just to kind of whet their appetite before looking at maybe more formal programs. There are actually technology companies that are housed in Red Flint. Their initial focus is focused on tech companies and startups that service gaming and hospitality. Of course, where should that be but Las Vegas? So we're real excited about this, and it's now open and up and running. Lucky Dragon, this is another one where we did not participate financially, but it's now open adjacent to the Allure condominium tower. It's a gaming hotel and casino, and it's going to be provided services for guests with a theme catered to Chinese guests coming from China. And of course, we now have direct flights, nonstop flights from China for our guests coming into Las Vegas. This is inside the city, but on the North Strip, and we think this is important for trying to encourage new investment and new development, moving in, crossing that dividing line from the North Strip within Clark County to the North Strip within downtown Las Vegas in the city. A number of projects are under construction. I'm going to touch on some of these. The Nevada Supreme Court and the Appellate Court House is well underway. They look to finish construction this month and be open and ready for occupancy coming into next month, January of 2017. The building is beautiful from the outside, but arguably more beautiful on the inside. So our development partner who purchased the land from us and is building those two courthouses, or really the courthouse to serve both courts, I should say, is well underway and near completion. We did provide not only the land through a sale agreement, but we also provided part of our federal new market tax credit allocation, a $10 million allocation of tax credits, which helped infuse capital, a low-interest loan into the project to get that up and running. And once it's open, I would encourage all of you to take a tour. It's a wonderful addition to downtown. Mountain View Hospital campus expansion, moving outside of downtown, but still within the core of the valley in Ward 1 is an important expansion underway with Mountain View Hospital. We sold the land to Mountain View. As you may recall, we initially owned all of that land out in the Northwest, known as the Las Vegas Technology Center 1 and Technology Center 2. This land, which is between Tenaya and the US 95, is the Mountain View Hospital campus, and the building here before you, which shows it under construction and now completed, is a medical office building, which is adding jobs to the area, providing medical offices for physicians and medical practices operating in the area, serving patients at Mountain View and elsewhere in the northwest part of the valley. We think is an important addition to that area, and is really where we see a lot of the business growth and the commercial development growth in healthcare. So we think this is the first of many medical buildings to come within the city. Arts District Plaza at 1025 Main Street, South Main Street, sponsored by Jonathan Kermani, is well underway. This is the rendering of what it looks like when it will be completed. It's going to be retail for new restaurants, food and beverage. It's well underway, and we think it should be completed mid-year this year. Fremont 9 is a housing project sponsored by Downtown Project and the Wolf Companies at Fremont and 9th Street, and is going to feature smaller living units for working professionals in downtown, likely to include a lot of Zappos employees, but certainly all the employees that are working in town and looking for a unit. These are going to be nice units with really nice amenities, but smaller units, what some might refer to as micro units, for providing housing for working professionals. And because of that, it offers a lower rent and entry point for people that are working in downtown and want to live downtown.
Mr. Arndt, what's the square footage of those units?
They're small. I believe they're under 600 square feet. I don't have the exact size in front of me, but they're going to be smaller units. I think most of them are efficiency style units in the 400 to 600 square foot.
Okay. Thank you. Please continue.
So that's where we've been and where we're at. Now the look forward is where we're headed. There's some projects that are underway in historic West Las Vegas, which again is part of Greater Downtown, and we're starting to see more and more people recognize that these important established neighborhoods that maybe once were thought of as not being part of downtown are really part of Greater Downtown Las Vegas. And we want to think, how can we develop projects in West Las Vegas, in East Las Vegas, in the medical district that aren't maybe in that core very close to where we're standing and sitting today, but are still very close to downtown. And how can we develop these neighborhoods in a complementary way to downtown and in a complementary way to the historic character and the residential character of some of these neighborhoods. And that's the case for West Las Vegas. So I'm going to touch briefly on a few projects and then invite our guests up to the podium. Historic Westside School is now open. We have KCP, which has been an important community partner for a long time, still open, up and running, and alive and well at the Historic Westside School. They've actually moved to what was the building built in 1923 to the building that was built in 1948. Gives them a little bit more modern space and a little bit breathing room to continue the radio station and all the good that they do with the community radio station and everything else. But it's also allowed us to reposition this for a true campus where we're welcoming new businesses into the school. One of these first businesses is Tech Impact, and it talked about this in the past, but I think it's an interesting story and a good segue to our speakers. The sign here on the left is some of the first class back in 1923, and it's interesting that we are still educating students at the Westside School. So this is our most recent graduating class from Tech Impact's program called IT Works, where they train young people, predominantly in the ages of 18 to 25, IT skills to get into that first IT job, which will launch their IT career. So everything they need to work on a help desk, answer questions related to the back end of working for a company that needs to provide IT services to their internal customers, they train their students for that. The City of Las Vegas is even taking students as part of an internship program. Through this program, our own Melissa Evans is there on the right and did some volunteer work with this incoming class, but this class just recently graduated, and we had held the graduation ceremony in council chambers this month. So again, this is part of the effort, not just thinking about buildings and businesses, but how are we creating job opportunities, employment opportunities, and reasons for people to live in, work in, and stay in downtown Las Vegas and then the important neighborhoods surrounding downtown. This is one of those programs. The third program I mentioned, Iron Yard, is in Ward 3 off of Charleston and just east of Main Street. But this is really creating an opportunity for people to stay in downtown and in the neighborhood surrounding downtown.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Please, Councilwoman.
I noticed that it said that that was the oldest school in West Las Vegas. Wasn't it the oldest school in the city?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's the oldest school in the city, which is
so.
really, I think, a great honor.
And Councilwoman and Mayor Pro Tem,
Please,
if you will,
Councilman.
I still stand on the premise that it's the oldest elementary school in the state of Nevada still standing. And so no one has been able to tell me otherwise or refute that, but I truly believe it's the oldest standing elementary school in the state of Nevada. So maybe Clay T. White can help us with that.
Well, thank you, Councilman. And that is a good transition to our next speakers. My last slide, we recently had a groundbreaking, actually yesterday afternoon, so this is fresh off the printing presses, for a dialysis clinic that is a huge global dialysis company. Fresenius is the operator, and you can see there the rendering on the left, shovels in the ground on the right. So I think kind of the theme here is projects are moving forward. We're getting projects out of the ground, projects into construction, into completion. This is a project that is in Las Vegas Enterprise Park off of Mount Moriah and Martin Luther King Boulevard, and we think it's going to be an important addition to Enterprise Park and try to continue our effort to bring employers in the Las Vegas Enterprise Park and really become an employment hub for not just the immediate neighborhood, but really for that part, that region of West Las Vegas and the area surrounding. So we're excited about that, and you can see there the shovels, and we appreciate the council's support on that project. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to our distinguished guests, and I know we have some guests in the audience for this presentation as well. So I'd like to invite to the dais our three guests, Joe Mitchell, Stephen Clark, and Clay T. White. Joe is going to lead off talking about the importance of the 100 Plan. Councilman Barlow has been a key driver of this plan, working with our own UNLV Downtown Design Center, which is led by Mr. Clark, on trying to think about the vision for West Las Vegas. And when we meet with developers and investors looking to do new projects in the community, one of the very first questions we get is, what's your vision? What's your plan? And we now have a very clear vision for downtown with our downtown master plan. We have had a vision in the past for West Las Vegas, but it was never really comprehensive enough to actually think through all the nuances of how do we get the community moving forward in a way that is complementary to downtown, respectful of the history of the neighborhood and the residents that still enjoy calling West Las Vegas home, and looking forward the next opportunities to drive new projects, new housing opportunities, new commercial employment opportunities in West Las Vegas. So I'm very excited to sit down and listen to their presentations. And with that, I'd like to introduce our own Joe Mitchell.
Please, Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Council and Councilman Barlow. I just want to say good morning, everyone, and we're quite excited to be here today. This is, we consider it a milestone moment for the Ward 5 community, the historic West Side area, as well as the city at large. We've been guided by a tremendous staff, Betsy and the city manager's executive team on developing downtown standards, the Downtown Vision 2045 plan, and we also been working very diligently to bring forward the historic West Side redevelopment plan as a part of that, grafted in to the 2045 plan. This has been a 2-year process, working process, and we've worked very hard with the community. I like to say Councilman Barlow set out the goals about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago actually, when he brought me on, and we created a vision. We closed the door, thought about what we wanted to do, and we created a vision for the historic West Side, and we knew that we needed to collaborate with expert professional help, and we looked at UNLV. UNLV is our partner in this process, and we immersed ourselves in the community. We met with citizens, and through a series of charrettes and studies, we created a true community-based plan. And the vision was simply to make the historic West Side beautiful, simply as that. And how we would do that, we created a framework where we contemplated we had to approach it by being democratic, that everybody would have a voice and they could participate in the visioning of how they wanted to live and how it would affect their lives. We also contemplated it being nonpartisan. That is, the structural organizations that were there and the stakeholders that were there, there would be essentially a flat basis where everyone would be heard equally. And then we thought about how can we get the community excited, and we call that community planning and community self-determination. And then we worked with that framework in mind, and with the help of UNLV and Stephen Clark, and above all, probably some of the unsung heroes would be the students, which he'll speak about momentarily. They made it happen. So right now I'm going to ask, we prepared a video, a 3D modeling video, and I would like for that to get started. We have our IT helping us with that, and it's going to show you what we're talking about. So we're doing a show and tell presentation for you of what the historic
1920s, it was decided that the African American community in Block 17 downtown, which is now the Mob Museum, that area should move, and that those people needed a place to go. So they asked them to move to that old area west of the railroad tracks. And that's what happened. African Americans moved to that area. The amenities were never provided to the area. It wasn't until the 1950s that sidewalks, streetlights, and a sewage system went in. But the area was already very, very progressive. Blacks had migrated during the World War II migration, but they did not have the amenities. So we see pictures today of lots of shacks and tents in that area. Building materials were scarce during the war. So then we see 1960, we get integration in the city. 1971, we get the consent decree. So for the first time, African Americans actually have jobs in places like downtown and in the gaming industry for the first time. We also get housing integration and school integration in the early 1970s. So now we come to 2016, and we find that the West Side community is now ripe for development. It is only 4 blocks, 1/2 mile from downtown, and you have developments going on in places like downtown, Symphony Park, and the Cultural Corridor, making the West Side community ripe for becoming your uptown. And for those people now who never left, the African Americans that did not take the opportunities given by integration, those people stayed there and built families and homes there. So now those people, along with UNLV and this city, are ready to become uptown.
And we want to say thank you for that. And now we're going to give this to Councilman Barlow. Just to let you know, also we have several guests that also we've met with, and they're here in the audience, and they're showing their solidarity as well with the support of the plan as well. So Councilman Barlow.
Thank you. Thank you, Joseph, Ms. White, and Mr. Clark, so very much. And I really want to thank the entire West Las Vegas, historic West Las Vegas community, and all of the stakeholders, to include the faith-based community, the residents, and all those that participated in this process over the last 72 months. This most definitely is an opportunity for us to come together, and I applaud everyone that participated, whether small or big, to include law enforcement, because everyone had a seat at the table in regards to sharing their thoughts, ideas, and ideologies as to the direction in which we wanted to go. And this was not only driven by some of the ideas and thoughts and visions that I had, but most of what you see encapsulated here today was really drawn out through the neighborhood meetings, through the assistance of UNLV Design Center, that really spoke to the heart of those residents who came out, basically sharing their ideas, thoughts, as to what they would like to see moving into the future. And so one thing that stood true through all of this process was that the African Americans that attended these meetings night after night, whether we were at the West Side, the Doolittle Community Center, or Mabel Hogart, or Matt Kelly, we had a conglomerate of meetings. Some of them were held in the churches. I want to thank also Mr. Ahern, Don Ahern, for opening his doors for neighborhood meetings, and of course Bonanza Village hosting meetings over at Mabel Hogart. There's a number of meetings that took place over the course of this 72-month period that really brought us to this point here today. Is it a perfect fit? No, it's not, but most definitely it's a large step in the right direction as to where this community has stated it wants to go. I know that there's still some details as it relates to parking in the area, and I want to also speak to staff as we continue to move forward to make sure that we start addressing some of the more detailed components of this, specifically parking, because I know I spoke to one of the pastors last night in relation to some questions that that he had. And I know that there's some other additional questions that may come out of this as well, but overall, we know as a community that it is ripe, as Ms. White has stated, it is ripe for development, redevelopment, and I couldn't be more excited than having the opportunity to have all of this come together as, you know, as a Christmas gift to the community as far as where we've been and how far we've come and what the bright future holds in relation to Ward 5. And so at this particular time, Mr. Clark, any final wrap-up thoughts?
Oh, again, it's been a pleasure and a real challenge and very satisfying to be able to work with the West Side community and stakeholders. Out of my 20-some-odd year career so far, this has been the most challenging but the most satisfying project to be involved. I feel closer to the historic West Side than any other neighborhood that I've lived in. The community is so so committed and so passionate about the place that they call home.
Yeah, and also I really want to thank you and all of your students. How many students over the course of this 72-month period participated? Because a number of them were graduates when they started working with me on this plan a few years back, and then we had some new freshmen and sophomores that came in towards the tail end of pulling all of the 100 plan components together.
Yes, the first group I had 11 students, a mixture of both architecture and landscape architecture students. Most of those have gone on to graduate. Actually, they've all gone on to graduate. The second group, the group that produced the video, had 8 students, a mixture of landscape architecture students and graduate level bridge students. Three of those are still have yet to graduate. They're about to graduate next year. So, but the students have been participating and moving on to the professional world.
Yeah.
And so this experience, working with the community members, working with consultants, working with city staff, has really helped them gain the tools that they need in order to succeed in professional practice.
Right. Mr. Summerfield, you have anything you would like to add? Because I know that planning, and I see Tom Parago over there as well. I have to give you all, come forward, Tom, and Mayor Pro Tem, if you don't mind, because this has been a 3-year process. So I really want to give credit to the planning department who really have been a great assistance in this process, keeping us within the parameters of everything that the city is doing, aligning the 2045 plan, the downtown 2020 plan, all of those components and pieces that we've been working on as a city, tying in a lot of these surrounding neighborhoods to basically support what we're trying to do on the perimeter and the peripheral of the expansion of the core of downtown as well.
Absolutely, Councilman, absolutely.
Mr. Perigo?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman, thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure and honor just to, for the most part, be on the sidelines, but to help, as you said, in that coordination part of these efforts and to see the work that Mr. Clark and the community has done on this is really phenomenal. It's one of the best planning efforts I've seen in a long time for an area like this, and I think it's really fantastic, and we look forward to working on integrating it in to these other planning efforts in a more formal way as we move forward.
Great.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely, Councilwoman, please.
I think it's an absolutely beautiful plan, and the way it's integrated is so excellent. I just needed to know, I know you have the plan now. What are you going to do next? I mean, how do you get this plan going? Will you be able to do something with grants or tax incentives, or how do you plan to do this?
Yes, thank you, Councilwoman. Joe Mitchell for the Office of Councilman Barlow. What we've done, we've assimilated a team of professionals, experts in business development, housing development, also an array of spectrum of expertise, UNLV Law School, some influencers in the community. One I like to mention personally is a good dear friend of mine, Don Snyder of UNLV. And also, we've also put together our own captain, Captain Plummer, will help us with the security plan for the community development plan overall as well, too. Those people will help steer us as we focus on different aspects of community as a whole. It's residential development, beautification, arts and humanities, safety, all the whole spectrum of what building a community should be or could be. So we've put those people together. We've also worked with HUD. I've been working with them closely. We're putting together kind of a matrix, a financial matrix of how we can look at sources to keep development moving forward. And you're absolutely right. I believe the message beneath the surface is you can have a great plan, but you don't want it to sit on the shelf, and you don't want to have a group of people without any force de jure or any financial force behind it. So we have contemplated all that and put that together as well, too. So it will be moving forward.
So we'll be moving forward with new projects probably initially.
That is correct,
Right.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's wonderful. You've done a great job.
Councilman Coughlin, please.
Thank you. If I could speak, I don't want to step on Councilman Barlow's fine work here and all the staff, and obviously, Clay T., I've known you for a long time. You did my oral history a long time ago for the library. And so in that library, as you know, the collection that I got of the Union Pacific contains an enormous number of documents about the relationship between J.T. McWilliams and the railroad and how they... I'm sorry? Please?
That's the collection we use to learn all this history. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. I was always glad to hear, when that collection has been at the university now for about 15, almost 20 years, and it really is edifying to hear that. I know people are working on doctoral dissertations and stuff. So the Union Pacific was kind enough to let us have that before they destroyed it. So the thing is, it's funny because JT was not wholly on the UP team. He was, and then it was the Los Angeles, Salt Lake, and San Pedro, Los Angeles, Salt Lake Railroad. They didn't trust him. Yet they would buy ties from him, from his lumber operation up at Mount Charleston. They did think about his proposal to put a town site there, and they decided they just didn't know him well enough, and they didn't own him, and so, yeah, he had that land, but then they decided to do their own thing on the other side of the tracks, and it kind of foreordained the future of the west side for quite a long time. And in the 50s, as a kid growing up here, I remember very well how nice the west side was. It really was still nice, and some of the houses were still new. Taverns were lively, the churches were very active, and side by side with the taverns, and it was frankly a great place to go, a safe place for people to go from all over Las Vegas. It was a place that, confidentially, of course, I'm not telling anybody, you won't repeat this, but it was a place where some of us in our teen years in high school occasionally did social drinking because we were welcome over there, and also we felt safe. Now that is a far cry from what happened later, because I think benign and almost purposeful neglect by city leaders over a period of time created a mess over there, and that was a crime. And now it's been reversed, not just by this administration, obviously, but by others in the recent history, to make something happen there, and that allow people who want to make something happen. So there is a lot to be said for the rebirth of the historic West Side and for everything else downtown. And one last note, the report melds in a bunch of projects in Ward 3, which are downtown, which I didn't create them, I didn't start them, but I'm happy to have been the steward who was there when they were built, the ICE building, the Supreme Court building, all of that stuff. But one that strikes me the most is the most recent one we just cut the ribbon on. 2 weeks ago, Nick Steele and his group of partners have opened up the Eclipse Theater right downtown on 3rd Street. The Eclipse Theater is classy. It's the classiest thing in Las Vegas, and it is a black-owned building. And I think that tells you something a lot about how investment can turn around and how it's truly a remarkable thing to see for all of us, and I hope we all go there and patronize that place. It's a definitely very comfortable, very upscale, I would call it almost an ultra lounge with a movie theater. It's the best way to describe it. So Nick Steele showed the way with a black-owned business, right in the heart of the white part of Las Vegas, if you will. That's a critical thing for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Barlow?
Yes, and I know that Mr. Summerfield had a couple things he wanted to share.
Mr. Summerfield.
Through you, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Barlow, you had asked the question, Councilwoman, about the next steps. So one of the next steps is moving to the formal adoption of this plan with a regulating plan. I know that is one of the councilman's priorities. And so we in planning, we're working on that. As we heard a couple weeks ago, as part of the downtown master plan implementation, we are working to engage a consultant that will help us deploy an urban form code. The vision that the UNLV students have put together based on their work in the community for the historic West Side will lend itself very well to deploying that code. So we think that would be a really good test bed pilot for deploying that. And so we will be working to get that consultant on board and get that code developed in the next 6 to 12 months, and get the 100 plan fully integrated into our planning and regulatory approach.
Thank you very much, Mr. Summerfield. And Councilman, I think it would be, we'd be remiss in not recognizing the members of this community who are attending this meeting today.
Absolutely.
In support of this. Those of you that have participated in this, would you please stand up and be recognized? As I've grown up here and seen this community grow as I've grown, but I know you love the city of Las Vegas as much as we do. Please stand up if you've had anything to do with Captain. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Councilman Barlow.
Mayor Pro Tem, I see Bishop James Rogers. If you don't mind, and just indulge us for a moment, Bishop Rogers, if you'll please come forward, because I know he and a lot of the members of his church have been engaged in this process as well. And I see the president of Bonanza Village, Mr. Gene Collins, as well. If you just come forward, just real quick.
Bishop, we would be honored to have a few words from you, and Mr. Collins, you as well, as you and I share a fraternity in some fashion. So please.
Mayor Pro Tem, Council, and Councilman Barlow, it's a great pleasure.
Mr. Collins, you can grab this mic here. Mr.
What
Collins,
we're doing in the West Las Vegas area. I'm always in favor of anything that is going to uplift and build a community. And it has certainly been far spent for us to do something of a major capacity like this. And I'm certain without doubt that our constituency will, in full force, support whatever we need to do in order to make this plan come to fruition. And I'm looking forward to be a part of making sure that it happens. So thank you once again, Councilman Barlow, for your great vision, along with Clay T. and others who involved this great project. And of course, UNLV is such a great entity to work with. We are overwhelmed by their support and their efforts. So thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Collins, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. You know, I thank God that I have lived long enough to see. Councilman, you has a lot to do with what is going on in our community from the legislature standpoint. And so when we was much younger, I know that the laws that are on the books today that our community is benefited is due to some of the work that we did. And so we knew we had to do something, but we didn't know what that something was. And so by passing the economic and redevelopment laws years ago brought us to where we are today. And as we have always said, Councilman, we want to thank you for your due diligence and what you have done. I've been to some of these community meetings. We had some inputs, and I'm looking forward to giving some more ideas, and I'm also looking forward to the one that we gave are implemented in this plan. So from the beginning, as a starter, this is a historic opportunity for the community, and I just want to thank this City Council, and a special thanks to my colleague, Councilman Kaufman, because, like I stated earlier, we knew we had to do something, but at this juncture, we didn't know what that something was. And by doing something, brought us where we are. And I also see a couple more of my friends up there, Ross and Mrs. Tarkanian, and who I've known over the years. And it's been a pleasure for me having the opportunity to be around to see some of the work that we did is finally coming to fruition. And I just want to thank y'all for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Collins.
Stay up there, Collins. Collins, go back to the podium, please.
Gene, come on back up.
Mayor, with your permission.
Please, Mr.
Let me just say that it's a real quick trip down memory lane, that next month will be 34 years since you and I started as freshmen legislator. That's hard to believe that could go by so fast, I think. And so, yeah, we've had this history, and it's really been fun. I don't know what fraternity you and Ross belong to. I want to know more about that. But we belong to a special fraternity of used-up legislators.
Well, he and I have a personal bond. We used to work together, just same as you and I. And so then Mrs. Tarkanian here, I remember her when she first came here. And the kids were so, well, they wasn't what they are now. So I have a relationship, and Councilman Barlow's father and I was in camp together years ago. So I have a relationship here, and it's a good relationship, so I think so. I haven't gotten any phone calls in the middle of the night or anything, so I think the relationship is good, and I know the work that is being done on behalf of our community is great. And so with that, Councilman, like I say, I cannot say enough about the vision that we had to bring us to what its point was, because nobody knew. As a matter of fact, we got a lot of drawback from what we was trying to do is bringing jobs and businesses into the city of Las Vegas. Everybody wasn't happy with what we was trying to do, but we managed to pass those economic and redevelopment bills that got us where we are, and the city is benefiting tremendously because we refuse to quit. And like I say, I be honest with you, I hate to keep saying it, but we knew, we just didn't know what and when. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Councilman Barlow,
Thank
any
you.
more comments?
Just in closing, I would like to thank the Centennial Commission, Betsy and her entire staff. The Centennial Commission made it possible for the UNLV Design Center to do the work that they've done on behalf of the historic West Las Vegas community. And once again, I want to thank all of those that participate and continue to participate in the process moving forward as we bring the 100 plan to a closure, but a new beginning to move this community into the future. And so at this time, I will turn the microphone and the time back over to Mr. Bill Arndt.
Mr. Arndt, closing comments?
Mayor Pro Tem, members of council, that concludes my presentation, and I again want to extend my thanks and gratitude to our invited guests to speak, as well as those in the audience, and we're looking forward to a great 2017.
Thank you, Mr. Arndt. And Councilman Barlow, congratulations. And those who spoke, thank you very much for your participation. And just to clear up the confusion, Councilman Coffin, Mr. Collins and I are both members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers and have worked side by side for many years, and he was actually part of my training into the political realm, so I appreciate that, Gene. Good to see you here today. Councilman Barlow, this does not require a motion, but I think ceremoniously you should make one anyway to accept the report.
We can't even do that ceremoniously.
Okay. Well, okay.
Apparently the city attorney's not going to let you do that.
Not a problem. I was just going to turn it over to the attorney to ask the question. So he jumped in before me. But the community most definitely is in support, and there's still yet more fine detail moving forward. So we look forward to that coming back.
Good job, everybody participating in that. Thank you very much for that. All right, we will move on to agenda item number 38. This is discussion for possible action to approve a settlement of Lyft Incorporated versus the City of Las Vegas, case number A-16-732411-C, and Razor LLC versus City of Las Vegas et al., case number A-16-7328895-C, in the 8th Judicial District Court. This affects all wards. And Mr. Curtis, I see you at the microphone. The time is yours.
Good morning, Mayor Pro Tem and the council. Yes, this is on for approval. We're asking for council approval of a settlement agreement we have reached with Uber and Lyft. As the council knows, we have been in litigation with them regarding our business licensing ordinance and the amount of fees we were charging. The district court had entered an injunction. The cases were combined. Uber and Lyft's case were combined into a single case. We had a hearing. The court issued an injunction. The district court judge, Tagliati, issued an injunction preventing us from enforcing that ordinance, ruling that at least preliminarily that she thought the issue of both fees and the legislating about TNCs was preempted by state law, and she issued an injunction thus prohibiting us from continuing to enforce our licensing ordinance. As a result of that, we entered into settlement discussions with Uber and Lyft, and they have agreed to dismiss the case, their case, joint cases against the City of Las Vegas, pending approval of a new business licensing ordinance, which is Agenda Item 54, which will be heard by the council later this morning. So all I'm asking the council to do this morning is to approve the settlement agreement, which calls for the case to be dismissed against the city, a mutual dismissal, no fees, no attorney's fees, no cost being installed against either side, and the case will be dismissed in its entirety, assuming and contingent upon the council adopting a new replacement ordinance regulating the business licensing fees for the TNC transportation network companies.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Curtis. Councilwoman Tarkanian, do you have a motion?
Move to approve.
There's a motion to approve agenda item 38. Please vote. And please post. That motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Curtis.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
We are moving on to agenda item 40. This is R-51-2016, discussion for possible action regarding a resolution accepting the quitclaim deed from the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency. Didn't we already do this one, Brad? Did we do this with number 10? No, we did not. Okay. All right, sorry. City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency conveying to the City of Las Vegas the Neonopolis parking garage located at 450 Fremont Street, the related assignment and assumption agreement, and other agreements and obligations related thereto, ratifying actions previously taken pertaining to the foregoing by the city, its officers and employees, and providing for other matters relating thereto. Redevelopment Area 1, Ward 5, Councilman Barlow. Note this item is related to Redevelopment Agency item number 7, RA-12-2016. Mr. Arndt.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. For the record, Bill Arntz, Director, Economic and Urban Development. Mayor Pro Tem, as you noted, this item was heard this morning as Redevelopment Agency item number 7, and I'd like to incorporate all the remarks and discussion from that item. This item transfers ownership of the Neonopolis garage and assigns all agreements and obligations from the Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency to the City of Las Vegas. This is a technical matter because the asset itself had already been transferred back in a prior fiscal year, and this will assign to the city all active agreements and obligations. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Councilman Barlow?
Move for approval.
There's a motion to approve agenda item 40. Please vote. And please post. And that motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Arndt, Councilman Barlow. We're on to agenda item 41, R-52-2016, discussion for possible action regarding a resolution finding the tenant parking program at Neonopolis parking garage located at 450 Fremont Street, APN number 139-34-513-003, to be in compliance with and in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the City of Las Vegas. This is Ward 5. Councilman Barlow. Mr. Arndt.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Again, for the record, Bill Arntz, Director, Economic and Urban Development. This item is related to the previous item in the sense that with the transfer of the asset from the Redevelopment Agency to the City of Las Vegas, and with the transfer of the agreements and the assignment of the agreements, the City of Las Vegas now has the responsibility of managing this garage for use from the public, but also use from the tenants at Neonopolis. Neonopolis is built on air rights above the garage, and the tenants have enjoyed leases with the Redevelopment Agency. So this is assigning those tenant leases and agreements from the Redevelopment Agency to the city. There are no changes to the underlying terms for the tenants. In other words, the tenants will be paying the same rates at the garage that they currently pay. This program will provide the tenants of Neonopolis who have executed leases for not less than 1 year term with the air rights owner one garage access card for the sole purpose of employee parking for each 1,000 square feet of leased retail space, not to exceed 30 garage access cards at all times while the lease is in effect. This is the same way we have been managing the garage, and our city parking services team is managing the garage. So to the tenant, there will really be no change, and this is really simply a legal arrangement to allow the city to continue that rather than formally the Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency. Staff recommends approval, and I'd be glad to answer any questions you may have.
All right, any questions for Mr. Arndt on this agenda items?
That's good, isn't it?
Seeing none, Councilman Barlow.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, move for approval.
All right, there's a motion to approve agenda item 41. Thank you, Mr. Arndt. Please vote and please post. And that motion passes. Thank you very much. We will move on to agenda item 42. This is boards and commissions for possible action, appointment and reappointment of members to the Youth Neighborhood Association Partner Program, or YNAP, Grant Review Board. Expiration of this board occurs yearly. Procedure for this board is appointed by the City Council. The Department of Youth Development and Social Innovation recommends the following appointments and reappointments. Appointments, adult representatives, Rakshana Hussain, Selena Torres, Nicole Winslow. Alternate youth representatives, Nico Majid Christian, Angel Rose Gonzalez, Nayla Monet Navi, Lillian Kennedy, Carla Sorosa, Unique Hardy as an alternate, and reappointments as the adult representatives, Deborah Reyes, Becky Skousen, Ann Kilponen, Vicky Skilbred, Harry Williams, Christine Kramer, and youth representatives, Sarah Richard and Carlos Vega. Councilwoman, do you have a motion on this?
Yes, move to approve.
There's a motion to approve agenda item 42 with all of the appointments and reappointments. Please vote and please post. And that motion passes, and we express our appreciation to all those members who serve on that board because it's very important to all of us and all of our wards. Moving on to agenda item number 43 for possible action. The City of Las Vegas Citizens Advisory Committee to the Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency. James Bonaventura, Ward 3, term expiration 11/2/2018, has resigned. Mr. Bonaventura has served in a Category G seat, which represents a community member who resides or works in the redevelopment area within Ward 3, and he has resigned. A new representative must be appointed to fill the unexpired term of the Category G member. Councilman Coffin, I understand you have a recommendation.
I do, Your Honor. I propose the name of Craig Palacios to replace Mr. Bonaventura, and also want to extend my personal thanks to Mr. Bonaventura for his service on this board.
I'll take that as a motion, Councilman.
It is a motion to approve. Thank
Motion
you.
has been made for an appointment. Mr. Palacios, please vote and please post. And that motion passes. Thank you, Councilman. We are on to agenda item 44 for possible action, the Oversight Panel for School Facilities. Councilman Bob Beers, term expiration is 12/31/2016. Councilman Bob Beers has served as the city's representative on this panel since April of 2012. He is eligible and wishes to be reappointed. Procedure to fill the seat is appointed by the mayor with ratification by the City Council. The mayor indicated her wish that Councilman Beers be reappointed, so that will be my motion to reappoint Councilman Beers to that board. Thank you, Council members, for serving. Please vote and please post. You're going to vote no? We're on agenda item 45. For possible action, the appointment and reappointment of members of the Community Development Recommending Board, or CDRB. Procedure for this board is appointed by the City Council. The Department of Community Services recommends the following: Mike Aker, Audrey Asselin, Terry Janison, Ranzuzu Jimenez, Rodney Jordan, Roxanne McCoy, Tom McGrath, Carmen LaShawn Miller, Dev Inder Pappas, A.J. Powell, Darrell Ewan, Nathan Taylor, and the new appointment of Erica Washington. Councilwoman, do you have a motion?
Yes, move to approve.
There's a motion to approve those appointments and reappointments of agenda item 45. Please vote and please post. And that motion passes. Thank you. We are now on to agenda item 49. Recommending Committee. Bills eligible for adoption at a later meeting. Items 49 through 51, bills 2016-70 through 2016-72 will be heard at a later meeting. We will move on to the new bills. Moving on to new bills. Items 52 through 55, bills number 2016-73 through 2016-76 will be heard at the recommending committee meeting on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017, and I would ask the city attorney to read those bills.
I'll be happy to. Bill number 2016-73, an ordinance to update the description of certain city board boundaries to reflect the addition of precinct numbers by the Clark County Election Department as a result of annexations or otherwise and provide for related matters. Bill 2016-74, an ordinance to continue to authorize on a temporary basis a partial waiver of the origination charge for restaurant service bar licenses and to provide for related matters. Bill 2016-75, an ordinance to amend the business license fee applicable to transportation network companies and to provide for related matters. And finally, Bill number 2016-76, an ordinance adopting an additional tax on the rental of transient lodging and supportive facilities operated by the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority as required by Senate Bill 1 of the 30th, 2016 special session of the Nevada Legislature and providing for related matters.
Thank you, Mr. Jervik. New bills 2016-73 through 2016-76 are assigned to the recommending committee members, Councilman Barlow, Councilman Anthony, Councilman Coffin. If any so designated are unable to attend, the clerk's office will coordinate finding substitutes as necessary at the mayor's discretion. The morning session of the Las Vegas City Council meeting is now in recess. We will start the afternoon session at 1 p.m. Thank you very much. Staff in the back ready to fire up? I can't see them because of the smoke mirrors. Oh, there we go. That's much better. That's what I was looking for. Awesome. All right. We will reconvene this city council meeting, the afternoon session at 1 o'clock. We are on agenda item 56 for possible action. Any items that the council staff and/or applicant wish to be stricken, tabled, withdrawn, or held in abeyance to a future meeting may be brought forward and acted upon at this time. Councilman Anthony, have you got those?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, I have two items. Item number 68, waiver public hearing, applicant Summit Homes of Nevada. Roaring Fork Management, 4.79 acres on the northwest corner of Centennial Parkway and Alpine Ridge Way. Applicant has asked that item be obeyed till January 18th, 2017. And then the second item is item 72, which is a review of condition, public hearing, applicant owner D.R. Horton, 15.47 acres at the northeast corner of La Madre Way and Maverick Street. Applicant has asked that be obeyed till January 4th, 2017, and that's my motion.
Thank you, Councilman. There's a motion to obey those items. Please vote and please post. And that motion passes. Thank you for that, Councilman. Items 57 and 58 may be considered one motion, one vote. They are considered routine, non-public, and public hearing items with no condition changes. Any person representing an application or a member of the public or member of the council not in agreement with the conditions and all standard conditions for the application recommended by staff should request to have the item removed from this portion of the agenda. Agenda item 57 is ROC 67727, applicant owner WMC Pavilion LLC on a request for review of condition of an approved review of condition ROC 61485 to amend that portion of condition number 3, 4, and 5 that indicates the date of an administrative review by adjusting 2016 to 2017, 2017 to 2018, and 2018 to 2019 on 20.68 acres at 209 South Grand Central Parkway. This is PD Plan Development Zoning in Councilman Barlow's Ward 5. Agenda item 58 is SDR 66808, applicant Simon Creek Carp 7 LLC, owner Mary Bartzis 22, on request for site development plan review for proposed 7,428 square foot auto parts new and rebuilt retail store with waivers of the downtown Centennial Plan setback, architectural design and screening standards on 2.68 acres at 2100 Fremont Street. This is C2 General Commercial Zone and in Ward 3, Councilman Coffin's ward. Both items are recommended for approval by staff. Item 58 is also recommended for approval by the Planning Commission. These are public hearings, which I now declare open. Is there anyone wishing to be heard? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearings. Councilman Anthony, can I have a motion?
Move for approval.
There's a motion to approve, one motion, one vote. Agenda items 57 and 58. Please vote and please post. And that motion carries. We are now on agenda items 59 through 62. 59 is GPA 66496 on a request for a general plan amendment from R Rural Density Residential to SC Service Commercial. Agenda item 60 is ZON 66497 on a request for a rezoning from U Undeveloped R Rural Density Residential General Plan designation to C1 Limited Commercial. Agenda item 61 is VAR 66498 on a request for a variance to allow a 10-foot residential adjacency setback where 81 feet is required. Agenda item 62 is SDR 66499 on a request for a site development plan review for proposed 8,800 square feet medical clinic and medical office development with waivers to allow a 0-foot landscape buffer along the south perimeter, an 11-foot buffer along the north perimeter where 15 feet is required, and not orient the building to the corner where such is required. The applicant owner is Mubahe Commercial Investment 4 LLC on 1.21 acres at the northeast corner of Centennial Parkway and Tenaya Way. U Undeveloped Zone, R Rural Density Residential General Plan Designation Zone. Proposed C1 Limited Commercial. Staff recommends denial on all items. The Planning Commission failed to obtain a supermajority vote on item 59, which is tantamount to a recommendation of denial. They recommended approval on all items 60 through 62. These are in Ward 6, Ross, and our public hearings, which I now declare open. Is the applicant present? Please state your name for the record.
Yes, sir.
Please, go ahead.
Good afternoon,
you're up.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem and City Council members. My name is Forrest Fermanelli, 9992 Catalina Canyon, Las Vegas, Nevada 89147. We were in front of you on November 16th for a memory care project development. And that project got approved. And with me, before I get into the project, I have my brother Tony Farminelli also, who is operator of a memory care facility and hospice service. Councilmen, we have this property on Bilpar and Tenaya, which is on the northeast corner of Centennial and Tenaya. And we were proposing for a C1 use due to the medical clinic use that we wanted on this property. At the Planning Commission hearing, we got approved for all the filings that we had filed with the city, except for the GPA. We will be more than glad to answer any questions that councilmen have for us, and we would seek your approval on this project.
Thank you very much, Mr. Farminelli. Mr. Pergo, did you want to add anything at this time, or Mr. Lowenstein?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. This site is located just outside of the town center master plan area, and the intensity of the general plan amendment and rezoning to commercial are too intense, and with the additional variance, that's why planning is recommending denial on these items.
Okay. This is a fabulous project. I know at your neighborhood meeting that you had overwhelming support. I don't think there were anyone that opposed it. This is going to be a great addition to the area. We had as we discussed prior to this meeting, the intense use of the C1 and the service commercial on these items. Let's see. I think that, is there anyone here from the public that wants to speak on these items? These are public hearing items. Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. What I'm going to do, gentlemen, is this. On agenda item 59, I'm going to make a motion, and Mr. Pergo, make sure I get this right, as we discussed before the meeting, that we are going to the GPA 66496. I'll make a motion to approve the use as office, the general plan amendment as office. Mr. Pergo, is that correct?
That is a general plan land use designation, and if that's your desire, I believe that would be an appropriate motion.
Okay, that's my motion then on agenda item 59. Please vote. And please post. And that motion passes. And as we discussed again before the meeting began, on agenda item 60, the ZON 66497, I would make a motion for that zoning designation to be also office. Correct, Mr. Pergo?
That is the appropriate zoning designation, yes.
That's my motion then. Please vote. And please post. And if the council will indulge me, after having a conversation prior to this meeting with both Mr. Farminelli's, on agenda items 61 and 62, I would make a motion to remand those back to Planning Commission for February 14th to change some wording on the paperwork and get you guys moving as quickly as possible. So that's my motion. You guys okay with that?
So does that mean, Mayor Pro Tem, that we will be able to get the medical clinic use on the property? Is that what you're referring to for the variances?
Yes, as we discussed with Mr. Pergo's team prior.
Mayor Pro Tem, will it be final action at Planning Commission?
It will be final action at Planning Commission. That way you guys can get moving quicker. Okay, I don't want to hold you up any longer on the project. Okay. Mr. Pergo?
Mayor Pro Tem, and just to be clear, that those items would go back to Planning Commission to revise the site plan and a variance in order that they are consistent with the zoning that was just approved as a medical office.
As a medical office, correct. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay, that's my motion. Please vote and please post. And that motion carries. Looking forward to working with you guys and seeing sticks in the air sooner than later. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
You too. Have a great day.
Thank you.
We are now on agenda items 63 through 65. 63 is MOD 66820 on a request for a major modification of the Lone Mountain West land use plan from L, low-density residential, to ML, medium low-density residential. Agenda item 64 is VAR 66821 on a request for variance to allow a proposed 4-story, 64-feet tall building where 2 stories and 35 feet is the maximum allowed, to allow a site disturbance of 44% on slopes greater than 25%, where 35% is the maximum disturbance allowed, and to allow a 100% site disturbance on slopes between 15 and 25%, where 50% is the maximum disturbance allowed. On agenda item 65 is SDR 66761 on a request for a site development plan review for proposed 42-unit condominium development with waivers to allow 16 feet retaining walls where 3 feet 6 inches is the maximum allowed, and to allow a 0-foot perimeter landscape buffer along the east and west property lines where 6 feet is required. The applicant owner is Prometheus and Atlas Real Estate Development, LLC, on 5 acres on the north side of Buckskin Avenue, approximately 350 feet west of Cliff Shadows Parkway, PD Plan Development Zone, L, Low Density Residential, Lone Mountain West Land Use Designation, proposed ML, Medium Low Density Residential, Lone Mountain West Land Use Designation. Planning Commission recommends approval, and staff recommends denial on all 3 items. These are in Ward 4, Councilman Anthony, and are public hearings, which I now declare open. Is the applicant present?
Yes, sir.
Please state your name for the record.
Arnold Stock, 840 South Rancho Drive, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89106, representing the owners.
Would you like to do your presentation before I refer to Mr. Perigo?
Yes, please.
Please.
Mayor Pro Tem and City Council members. This is a 5.0 acre site. It is located approximately half a mile from the intersection of I-215 and Cheyenne. It is a luxury condominium proposal. The site will include 42 individually designed units ranging from 2 to 4 bedrooms. Secured parking, all on grade, with access to living units directly above. The development will include lavish landscape, a pool, a spa, cabana area, which is sited in the central courtyard patio area of the site. The individual units will include custom and individualized interior designs, state-of-the-art kitchens, bedrooms, bathrooms, and master bedroom suites with astonishing views. It is 8.4 units per acre. The maximum building height is 54 foot 6 inches. There's 26 two-bedroom units at 1,522 square feet each. There's 4 two-bedroom units with loft and den, which is 1,860 square feet each. 8 3-bedrooms at 1,800 square feet each, and 4 4-bedrooms at 2,612 square feet each. Parking required is 84 spaces provided, or 90. 2 handicap spaces required, and we provided 4. The request is for, as Mayor Pro Tem read, a major modification of the Lone Mountain West Land Use Plan, a variance, which he had indicated, and the site design review. A neighborhood meeting was held, was not required, but was held, and also 3 or 4 conversations with local neighbors that had some questions, which had no objections at the time when I finished meeting with them. The neighborhood meeting was held on October 20th. Notifications was sent out within a 500-foot radius of the site. And also the Planning Commission approved this request, and I'm available to answer on any questions that you may have at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Stock, for that presentation. It looks like a pretty good project. Mr. Perigo?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. The Hillside Ordinance is designed to encourage development that is kind of works with the natural terrain and calls for less intense development as the slopes get more, as the slope increases. So because this project requires a variance from the Hillside Ordinance, planning is recommending denial.
Thank you, Mr. Perigo. This is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to be heard on these items? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and turn the time over to Councilman Anthony.
Could I ask a question before? I just want to ask, Arnold, did you do any of this architecture work, or?
No, I'm not. I don't do architectural work. I just represented the owner.
It's really modern. It would look nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Anthony?
All I can say is it's a great project, and I'll ready to make some motions.
Okay.
All right, I will move for approval of item number 63, following the Planning Commission's recommendation for approval.
There's a motion to approve agenda item 63. Please cast your vote, and please post. And that motion passes.
Item number 64, I will follow Planning Commission's recommendation for approval, and that's my motion.
Motion on 64 is to approve. Please vote and please post. And that motion passes as well.
And item number 65, I will follow Planning Commission's recommendation for approval.
There's a motion to approve agenda item 65. Please vote and please post. And that motion passes as well. Congratulations, Mr. Stock. Good to see you.
Thank you all very much.
And I'll pause just for a second to make the comment, too, that the mayor is excused as she's on holiday with family, and that's why she's on this afternoon meeting today. So thank you, Mr. Stock.
Thank you all very much.
We are on agenda item 66. This is VAR 66733. This is a public hearing. The applicant owner is Cynthia Mata for possible action on a request for variance to allow a 0-foot rear and side yard setback where 3 feet is required for 2 existing accessory structures, Class 2 sheds, and to allow accessory structures that are not aesthetically compatible with the principal dwelling unit on .016 acres located at 1801 Cochrane Street, R1 Single Family Residential Zone, Ward 3, Councilman Coffin. The Planning Commission and staff recommend denial. This is a public hearing. I declare it open. Is the applicant present? Please state your name for the record.
Cynthia Mota, and this is my husband, Javier Mota.
Welcome.
Thank you. Just laying these things out. These are pictures showing that we recently painted and kind of fixed up these structures to make them aesthetically compatible with our main residence. And I'd just like to say that we have been residents of Ward 3 at our present location at 1801 Cochrane Street since 2003. I work at Bridge Counseling on Alta and Martin Luther King as a marriage and family therapist and licensed drug and alcohol counselor, and also clinical supervisor of interns. I've worked at Bridge since 2010, and I also am very invested in our downtown area, particularly Ward 3, but all of our central Las Vegas area. We like to do our shopping in that area and are very committed and invested in the community. We love our neighborhood and have loved it since we got there in 2003. We've always done our best to keep the property looking nice and make improvements. And in fact, our neighbors have told us on past occasions that we had the nicest looking yard on the block. My husband does all the property maintenance himself, and in 2005 he built the larger shed to store all his tools and materials in an orderly way to continue that maintenance and improvement. We recently painted, as I said, and did some cosmetic work to make them more compatible, and they in fact match the color of our home. Please help us to keep our property and keep and maintain our property as best we can by approving our variance request to leave this shed in place. We are willing to go through any process and comply with what's needed. Councilman Coffin. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to be heard on any of these items? Or this item, I'm sorry. Mr. Perigo, the script doesn't refer to you, but I'm going to refer to you anyway.
Mr. Lowenstein has a very brief report.
Okay.
Thank you. The applicant is requesting variance from both setback and compatibility requirements for the 2 accessory structures located in the rear of the site. No evidence of unique or extraordinary circumstances has been presented to substantiate the request, and staff is recommending denial.
Thank you, Mr. Lowenstein. After closing the public hearing, Councilman Coffin.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Well, you kind of fell victim to the lottery whereby people from our city are in a neighborhood investigating other things. And lo and behold, they saw all these sheds in the backyard, which are, you know, overlooking into the backyards of other people. I think you've come a ways on fixing things here, but understand that it wasn't a neighbor that complained. So that part I understand, and I'm very happy for that because we'd be taking it all down at this point. But the fact is that, and they are intrusive, but on the other hand, you seem to be getting along well with your neighbors. So that's okay. It's an old neighborhood, I understand. However, I don't like the look of that other wood shed. It could be a doghouse. I'm not sure what it is because I can't see except the shepherd there. That is under the power lines, and it could be a fire hazard, and it is right next, it's in the corner of your property, maybe even in the easement. Is that correct?
Right, that one was there when we purchased the property. So that little storage shed, we would be amiable to, take that one down. The one that we're really, interested in being able to keep up is the larger one that my husband constructed, because that's where he keeps a lot of his tools and, maintenance equipment for the property.
Okay, so let's say, staff, if we were to remove that shed, that wooden shed, the one that looks like maybe a large doghouse, and we left the other one up because it's on a concrete pad, I understand that it is well maintained, and we have had no complaints from the neighbors. We remove the fire hazard by having them pull out that small wooden shed. What do you say? How can we do that?
Through your Mayor Pro Tem, we would just add a condition to the variance clarifying, and it would read something to the extent of the variance related to the accessory structure, parentheses, shed B, abutting the rear property line is hereby denied. That would be the condition, and the effect of that would be either that shed's removed or relocated to conform to code, and then the other shed, known as Shed A on their plan, would be approved as part of the variance.
Okay. I understand, Cynthia, that we did have 3 protests.
Yes.
So it wasn't, totally love fest over there, but
I understand, but most of the protests I saw that came in were from other, streets that weren't actually our street, as far as.
Sometimes that
and
happens.
I believe
Sometimes
that
that
we had
happens.
more approval, expressions of approval than protests.
well, I tell you what we'll try to do here. We'll cut this baby in half and attempt to see if we can't also make you a better neighbor. And since you thought you were, but maybe you think, and people don't say things to you, they're a little shy. So we're going to require you that you remove that other small shed, which is
The
there.
corner one.
That's right. That is going to be my motion, subject to the language as suggested by staff, that be in addition to the variance, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Councilman Coffin. Mr. Olson, I don't think you need to add anything else to that, do you?
No, Mayor Pro Tem. If you want me to clarify the condition, I can
Would you do that for the record?
Sure. The variance related to the accessory structure, parentheses, shed B, abutting the rear property line is hereby denied.
And Mr. and Mrs. Modi, you both agreed to that. There's a motion on the floor. Please vote. And please post. And that motion passes. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for coming to see us.
Thank you very much.
Have a great holiday. You bet.
Okay.
We're on agenda item 67. This is WVR 66692. It is a public hearing. Applicant owner is Touchstone Lone Mountain LLC for possible action on a request to allow no external streetlights for proposed 4-lot residential subdivision on 2.50 acres on the southeast corner of Hickam Avenue and Giuliano Road, U, undeveloped zone, DR, desert rural density residential, general plan designation. This is in Ward 4, Councilman Anthony. Staff recommends denial. The Planning Commission recommends approval. This is a public hearing, which I declare open. Is the applicant present? Please state your name for the record.
Robert Cunningham, 6030 South Jones Boulevard with Tanny Engineering, representing the applicant tonight. What we have here is a 4-lot parcel map that we're processing for them to build 4 homes on. It was previously started a while ago. Everything expired. At that time, they had asked for a waiver of the street lights because there's no street lights in the near vicinity. It's half-acre homes, so we're back asking for the same waiver today. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, and hopefully you guys will approve this tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. Good to see you as well. This is a public hearing. Does anybody wish to be heard on this item? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and turn the time over to Councilman Anthony.
Move for approval.
There's a motion to approve agenda item 67. Please vote and please post. And that motion passes.
Thank you.
Have a great day. We are now on agenda items 69 and 70. This is SUP 66544 on a request for a special use permit for a proposed drive-through Item 70 is the related item SDR 66545 on a request for a site development plan review for a proposed restaurant with drive-through with a waiver of the downtown Centennial Plan parking lot screening requirements. The applicant owner is Main Street Investments 3 LLC on 0.46 acres at 1311 South Main Street, CM Commercial Industrial Zone. Planning Commission and staff recommended approval of both items. These are in Ward 3, Councilman Coffin, and our public hearings, which I now declare open. Is the applicant present? And seeing no applicant, this is a public hearing. Does anyone wish to be heard on this item? And seeing none, I close the public hearing. I will turn the time over to Councilman Coffin.
On item.
Oh, wait. I have a note for Mr. Perigo. Mr. Perigo.
Thank you. Mr. Lowenstein will make a very brief report.
Thank you. Staff finds that the proposed use accommodates the required on-site stacking for the drive-through, component of the use, and supports the repurposing of the subject site. Thank you.
Thanks to you for being brief, Mr. Lowenstein. Now I'll turn the time over to Councilman Coffin.
I move for approval of item 69.
Motion to approve agenda item 69. Please cast your vote and please post. Yes, Councilman. Will the city clerk mark Councilman Beers in the affirmative on that? Thank you, Councilman.
And Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, Councilwoman?
Could I just ask that, could you show that last picture again? Is that barbed wire at the top of that fence? I just wanted to know, is that according to our code? I'm not trying to catch them. I just want to know what barbed wires, because some of it's in my ward.
Can we revert
The
back?
last picture that you had, oh, has he left? Maybe he had the picture.
No, he's got it. Councilman Beers is talking to him. There we go.
No, that's not the one. There was another one that showed,
Oh, the razor wire.
the razor wire.
That's on a different parcel.
Well, that's on a different parcel. It wasn't their parcel. Can I just ask the question
That's
anyway?
okay,
Do we allow razor wire like that in the city?
I think Mr. Lowenstein, you want to?
It is, I believe it's relinquished through the building code and is just handled through a permitting process at this point.
So someone can have wire, because the picture that I saw had the razor wire with the big triangles, which was really a heavy-duty one. Can that be, you can request it, and we do permit it at times? Because we were told at one time you could not have that type of wire, and we've moved accordingly. I just wondered if it's
Yeah, that'd probably be a code
here I was trying to show some of it, yeah.
Through you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Please, Mr. Wilson.
The ordinances have changed over the course of time. Your recollection is correct. Before, it was a prohibited material that actually required it to go before the Planning Commission for approval. Those code provisions have changed from the Administrative Building Code, and I believe it's now in just to a permitting process. And at that point, I guess it's the review of life safety and where it's being applied would be reviewed at the time of building permit.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Please, Councilman.
If I could help.
Please.
Well, of course, we don't allow it near residential areas. This is a exception in alley and downtown, which is crime-prone, and we have a lot of folks that want to come over and ruin everything. So we have bums and miscreants and vagrants and criminals roaming around here after dark, so to thieve and to trespass. So above the ground, sufficiently above the ground, we have allowed it. We have removed it or required it to be removed when it is down at eye level or it is someplace where it could be harmful. Here, it's going to only bother someone who is going to be up to no good. So that's why I move for approval on this one.
Oh, and that's all right, the approving of it there. I didn't mean to object to that.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
I just know that in some of our areas, we've had businesses put this up, and we had been told you couldn't put it up, so that's why I was asking.
Okay.
I just want to know for our knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you both. Thank you all very much.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to just offer that we'll follow up with Councilwoman. We'll make sure that we give you a complete briefing updated on all the requirements and codes and things.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Did we post 69? Yes. Okay. Councilman Coffin on agenda item 70?
I move for approval. Thank you.
A motion to approve agenda item 70. Please vote and please post. And those items pass. Thank you very much. We're now on agenda item 71. This is SUP 66838. It is a public hearing. Applicant is Kai's Lash and Foot Spa, owner, West Sahara Associates. for possible action on a request for a special use permit for a proposed 1,350 square foot massage establishment with a waiver to allow a distance separation of 80 feet from a residential use where 400 feet is the minimum distance required at 6340 West Sahara Avenue, C1 Limited Commercial Zone, Ward 1, City Councilwoman Tarkanian. Staff recommends denial. The Planning Commission recommends approval. This is a public hearing, which I declare open. Is the applicant present? Please state your name for the record.
Chanel Baker.
Ms. Baker, nice to see you today. Did you want to say anything before I turn the time over to Mr. Perigo?
No, I'll just tell you a little bit more about what it is. It's going to be a lash and foot spa. It's kind of like a modern twist on what you see on a foot spa now. Me and my partner have together more than 30 years experience. We both work on the Strip and spas, 5-star resorts. We're also going to be doing semi-permanent makeup, microblading of the eyebrows. We want to reach out to those that have cancer, alopecia, for lash extension services, eyebrows, and wellness services.
Very nice. Mr. Perigo, you don't have anything to add to this, do you?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Just that the particular site does not meet the required distance separation, and that's why staff's recommended denial on the waiver.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone from the public wishing to speak? No. I declare the public hearing closed. Councilwoman Tarkanian.
Even though the distance requirement is not met, if you try to get from the residential homes to this place, you can't get there because of walls along alleys and things, so really the distance is good enough, except that it isn't straight, it's a roundabout way, so I move for approval.
Okay, Councilwoman has
And
moved
wish you luck.
to approve agenda item 71. Please vote and please post. And that motion passes. Congratulations. Item 72 has been held to the January 4th meeting. We are now moving on to agenda item 73. Direct clerks set a date on any appeals filed or required public hearings. I would instruct the city clerk to set those dates. The City Planning Commission meetings in dangerous buildings and nuisance and letter abatements.
Thank you.
We are now on citizens' participation, agenda item 74. Citizens' participation, public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the City Council. No subject may be acted upon by the City Council unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, come to the podium and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject as well as the amount of time on any single speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. So this is your opportunity to address the City Council. If the Council is not able to respond or engage in dialogue, are there any members of the public who wish to speak under this portion of the agenda? Please state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Margaret Ann Coleman. I've been here for over 34 years. I have been fighting this case that deals with court order dealing with the law. Come forth to you to discuss 36, 37. This is concerning the project or the improvement on the west side. I'd like to comment on that. It's a beautiful plan, and as far as I'm concerned, I would like to be a part of the committee. This money in which I'm trying to get is credit and due from this court order that is a 34-year lynched by the Board of Commissioners. I have presented it to them, and it's under writ of execution. It is an overview of judgment and collection. So being that you might be in a bind as concerning money, if I do get into the power, I would like to participate. And my name is Margaret Ann Coleman.
Thank you, Ms. Coleman. Appreciate your time.
So if I could get an approval of being on the committee.
And we can't take any action during public comment, but thank you very much for your
All right, and you have a blessed day and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. Happy holidays. Anyone else from the public wishing to be speaking? Please state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes. Either microphone will work.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Josh Elliott, and I wanted to just bring this to the attention of the City Council. That on the September 11 in 2011, I went before the Winchester Town Board and the Paradise Town Board along with the Clark County Planning Commission. The purpose was to have a street in Las Vegas named in honor of Sammy Davis Jr. Now, the conclusion of that was they approved the motion unanimously, and with one condition in that, well, they had several conditions, but one primary one I wanted to bring to the attention of the council, they wanted to make sure that the street, which is Industrial Road, which ends in the county at Sahara Overpass, would be continued into the city. And so I've talked with members of the city staff up on at the Rancho location, and my attorney, which is Jay Brown, he made mention that he got the okay from the councilman here that if we get to that point, he would have no problem with taking it into the city. Where the stipulation comes in, and there's two ways, and you're probably already aware of this, that this can be done in terms of having Industrial Road changed into Sammy Davis. One would be to have the notarized deeds and all this kind of stuff of every property owner on the street, which would be virtually impossible because it's hard to find. Most of the people are not located in the area. And so the other way is to have one of the council members or the mayor initiate the effort. And if that's done, then we can go ahead and go forward. I talked with one of the staff members of the Councilman Coffins, and he said that it could be overlay, whereas Industrial Road would be on the top or the bottom of Sammy Davis. I think that I thought about that. They have the same thing going on on the west side where they have two names running. But this is a tremendous honor that the city and the county has bestowed just to even consider this motion. And I know you can't say anything about this or make any type of action, which I'm not here to get into action. I just want to bring it to the attention of the council and hope that hopefully as we go along and get into 2017, we can get this taken care of.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time and patience coming down to the City Council.
Thank you, sir.
Have a wonderful holiday. All right, anyone else from the public wish to be heard? All right, we'll close agenda item 74 and move on to 75, which is council member recognition. Comments made by individual city council members during this portion of the agenda will not be acted upon by the city council unless that subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. I will start down at the end with the very colorful Councilman Coffin for the holidays. Councilman?
Well, I'm a glitter guy. I'll tell you what, Mayor Pro Tem, the last speaker in public comment, I realize we are not supposed to engage, and we won't in this particular case. I do remember my staff saying, and we got a message from someone recently about reviving that name change over at Industrial, and I had not discussed it with anybody, but it came up 5 years ago. That was the first couple of months after I was elected to this body, and I think that I would support that. And since we have successfully made Pecos Road in the city limits of Las Vegas Cesar Chavez Boulevard or Avenue, I think that we could do the same thing on an honorary basis, a commemorative basis for Sammy Davis Jr. There are roads that are specifically dedicated to Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, and I'm not sure who else out there on the Strip, but Sammy was a great part of the Las Vegas that I grew up in the 50s and 60s. So I'm thinking I would like to say I will support that. I will sponsor that. Now, the question becomes does that mean that then the county would go ahead with the name change on their side? If we don't do an official name change, but rather do a ceremonial, which as he described it, Josh Elliott described it, would be one that, well, then we need to just check that out. So I'm going to do that. And then my other items, if I could just address for the last minute or so I have, Mayor Pro Tem, the issue of shopping today is everybody in the town has finished shopping for their families but me. So I make this public confession because after I have a couple of errands to run after this, I will commence. The thing is that I really believe in shopping local, Mayor Pro Tem, and I really believe that we will see news coming out in the next few days or maybe weeks about how this was a good Christmas in terms of people who shop for things. And it will have been a good Christmas probably only because people had purchased items over the internet or through their catalog sales, through some remote catalog house with a warehouse in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, or maybe even, Story County up in northern Nevada. But basically minimum wage workers who are doing their best to run a computer or a computerized system for sorting, loading, fulfilling orders from people who sat at home and did their ordering. when they could have found the perfect gift in the city of Las Vegas or in the town, wherever in town USA they live. And I think it's important to know that we need to support our local businesses in this regard. And I've been harping on this for more than 25 years, from a time in the legislature when we discovered that we were losing so much tax money to the internet and the catalog sales. But goodness sakes, think of it not just from a tax perspective, but from these mom and pop stores that are staying open barely with their patronage from local residents. And if people would just take this message to their heart and think about next year and think about the next birthday and the next Easter and the next holiday where they might be buying a gift, that they buy it locally, that they try to buy it here in Las Vegas, Henderson, Boulder City, North Las Vegas, greater unincorporated Clark County. I don't care. The point is somebody's job, somebody's small business is on the line here. The rent's not going down. Prices of anything are not going down. But do you want them there when you really want to see it? Do you want to be able to go shopping anymore? Or you just want to go look and entertain yourself? You're not even going to have the entertainment value if we continue to just satisfy our needs to buy through the mail and make mail order houses who don't pay sales tax to most states and very little property taxes. Let them make all the money. I don't believe in that, and I felt like if you can find something that way that is so unique, you can't find it in town or wherever you live, then by golly, buy it on the internet. But take your time, don't be lazy, find it locally, as I am going to about do, because I was lazy to start with. So my laziness has forced me to not become active. I will definitely buy it locally the next few days, but I will enjoy it because I know that the money's going to stay in Las Vegas. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Coffin. Good points. Well taken. Councilman Barlow.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. In Ward 5, the Las Vegas Citizen Fire Academy applications are now available. So for those individuals looking to either change their career or get into a beautiful career in the fire and rescue services, please log on to the City of Las Vegas website at lasvegasnevada.gov for more information. Project Neon closes 2 US 95 ramps this week, so please pay attention to the roadways throughout the Christmas holiday season and New Year. And of course, you may follow all of the roadway closures and construction interruption around the valley by logging on to nvroads.com. The City of Las Vegas issues call for artist submissions. The City of Las Vegas requests submissions from artists who are interested in painting utility boxes to beautify the urban environment. So please, if you are interested, log on to artsregistrylas.vegas for more information. And over at the Smith Performing Arts Center, the Nevada Ballet Theater, the Nutcracker begins December 11th through the 24th. So pack up the family and go check out the Nutcracker at the Smith Performing Arts Center, right in the heart of Symphony Park. And of course, the historic West Side School, located at Washington Avenue and D, has professional office space available. We are looking for retail and cafe space opportunities. So if you are interested in moving into this facility, please contact the city, Julie Quisenberry, at 229-6551 for more information. And of course, as we approach Christmas, we always like to introduce the locations in which you may get rid of your Christmas tree after the holiday. So Christmas tree recycling, you may drop off your Christmas tree to be recycled and reused at no charge December 26th through January 15th at any of the 34 Valley locations. So for more information, please contact 895-3760 to find the nearest location nearest you for the tree recycling program. Coffee with the Councilman will be January 12th, located at 1925 North Martin Luther King. So please come out and make that a part of your New Year resolution to come and have coffee with me and talk about what we're going to do to improve 2017. And of course, Christmas wishes. I would like to wish you and your family a beautiful and peaceful Christmas season, full of joy and laughter to carry on into the new year. Merry Christmas from the Ward 5 representative and my staff. And of course, you may follow me always on all of my social media platforms. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Councilman Barlow. That was wonderful. Councilwoman Tarkanian, I know you have some announcements as well.
Just to follow up on what Councilman Barlow said about recycling the trees, it's so important because you can get valuable mulch to be used in gardens, which is given away free at certain areas within the city. Before dropping off your tree, please remove all non-organic objects such as lights, wire, tinsel, ornaments, and nails, because foreign objects can contaminate the mulch and ruin the chipper, and flock trees cannot be recycled. The most convenient locations for Ward 1 residents are the Springs Preserve at 333 South Valley View Boulevard, at Lowe's at 7550 West Washington, and also at 4625 West Charleston, and at Desert Breeze Park at 8275 Spring Mountain Road. And if you need more information, call UNLV Rubble Recycling at 702-895-3760. And it's not too late to visit the Magical Forest at Opportunity Village. Now in its 25th year, the Magical Forest has a variety of family-friendly activities, such as a passenger train, which will take you around the area, an enchanted carousel, an avalanche slide, mini golf, and photos with Santa. The forest is open through January 1st, except for Christmas Day, and is located at 63 West Oakey Boulevard in Ward 1. You can call 702-225-9627 for ticket information, and proceeds go to support Opportunity Village, which is a local non-for-profit organization serving children and adults with intellectual disabilities. Also, we have the Springs Reserve is still open, and they have a little train that will take you around, meet Santa, let the children participate in lots of different activities, painting and working with clay, and seeing all of the sites at the preserves, and also seeing some of the new historical cottages that have been put up there, and some of the area, which of course originally was where Las Vegas started. The Meadows, which is in Spanish Las Vegas, started right there at the Springs Preserve, so it's a good chance to see that part of history if you want to bring that in with some of the holiday. And quickly, I'm just going to say, from a personal experience, during this time of cooking and cooking some items which give off a lot of fat, I have a grandson who cooks beautifully. However, he does not pour the fat and oil and the grease where it belongs. He pours it down the drain, and that happens to solidify in the pipes. It builds up over time, restricts flow, leading to expensive sewer overlays or backups. And I just want to tell you, I had to pay a lot of money to have that taken care of, and I just wanted to tell everybody else that just have a sealed container of used oil on, where you can put into a glass or into a pan or into a jar, and then you can drop it off at a containment pad at Pearson Park or at Desert Breeze Park or at Mountain Crest Park. And if you do not recycle, please pour your oil and grease in a glass bottle or coffee can, let it cool, and then put it in the trash. And finally, I want to add to what Ricky Barlow said, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah and a great New Year. And let's all be working together to work together. That's the key thing. And keep our mind on the positive. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. That was great information from all of you. Councilman Beers, I apologize to you because when you do your end presentation, I want to hear that background music, so you give us clues to your music thing. So I'm going to turn the time over to you.
Well, first I would say I guess it's kind of interesting to be ending our last meeting of the year oily.
Oily?
Oily?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
In Ward 2, we are done with Coffee with the Councilman and Beers with Beers for 2016. We'll be holding events coming up next month. We certainly do wish you all a great holiday season. Noting that our next Coffee with the Councilman is going to be at Charlie's Lakeside. That will be January 6th from 7:30 to 9. Please come by and let us know what neighborhood concerns you have that we might be able to work on at the Ward 2 office. If that's a little early or a little tame for you, why, it's Beers with Beers. We'll be at Three Angry Wives in January on the 19th of the month from 5:30 to 7:30. That is located inside Boca Park, and there also will have the Ward 2 team there to listen to feedback from constituents. A quick reminder that we do have the City of Las Vegas business kiosk located out at the Sahara West Library. It'll be there through the end of the year. Please go check it out. There's also another one down at the Development Services Center. This is a new modality that the city is looking at implementing a little bit wider in the future if people find this useful. Hopefully it can save you a trip downtown or down to the Development Services Center. This kiosk is capable of handling basic business transactions with the city. You can see several of them listed there, including payment. No lines, no waiting, easy to do. Hope it's helpful. That's all we got. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Councilman Beers, and we're always trying to streamline the way we do business for the betterment of our residents. So I appreciate all that and all those comments. Well, in Ward 6, there's not much, but we'll just, we'll get right into it, and it's always a good day when you get to hang out with Santa Claus. So that's my parting photograph for the year and for the holidays. We do have, in our continued partnership with Nevada Child Seekers, we do have a missing young lady, which is unfortunate at this time of year. Her name is Anea Galloway. She goes by Nea. She's 14 years old, 5'3", 115 pounds. She was last seen November 26th around the area of North Pecos and Bonanza. It was unknown what she is wearing, but it would be great to get her back with folks who want to see her for the holidays. If you know the whereabouts of this young lady or know her personally, please contact the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department at 702-828-3111 or Nevada Child Seekers at 702-458-7009. And of course, if you need to get in touch with me, it's easy to do. I love sending people to the city's website. It's a great new website, lasvegasnevada.gov/Ward 6 or Councilman-S. Ross, lasvegasnevada.gov. The old-fashioned way, you can call me on the phone or reach me on social media. And before we adjourn this meeting, I know on behalf of the mayor and this entire city council, I can speak for them, Ms. Retwell, to all of the dedicated employees of the city of Las Vegas. We give our thanks and appreciation. Your staff, our staffs behind chambers, our staffs upstairs, everyone throughout the field in the city has done a fabulous job for us this year. I too echo Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and our next meeting will be January 4th, 2017. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.